Hi FlossTube, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, and today there's going to be lots of other information thrown in. This is officially my retirement party video. With everything that's going on in the world, I just didn't feel comfortable gathering a lot of people together. And so I decided instead to celebrate with you guys. So hope you enjoy. This is video 66, 67. Not sure if I already said the date. It is Sunday, November 21st, 2021. So, yeah, we're closing in on Thanksgiving, and as you can see, I started doing a little decorating. This is my snowman tree, and I was gonna finish decorating it, but then I thought, oh, I've been promising this video for so long, so it seemed like a smarter thing to do to just get it done and then get back in the decorating mode. I've got a good start. My husband's gone, and so I've made a pretty good mess around everywhere, but that's okay. I'll have it cleaned up. So, first off, I showed this pillow before, but I'm going to show it again because there were some other fun goodies to go with it. Kathy of To Die House. She was my After the Roses Sal Pal partner, and she's a hoot. So if you haven't seen her channel, go check it out. But she stitched this pillow for me. Isn't that adorable? And what I really love, on the back, she has the charm of 2021. So I'll never forget when I retired. Like, that would be possible. And besides that, I really like the number 21. And she gave me this lovely crown that I've been wearing, almost every day since I got it. People kind of look at me weird in the grocery store, but I'm like, oh, whatever. They're just jealous, right? But I thought this was great. And these are so funny. What do you call a person who is happy on a Monday? Retired. It's a retirement person coloring book. And I just so you don't get too bored, I am going to show quite a few whips that I've been working on and a couple finishes and talk about my Christmas stitching, so don't give up on me. But this book was just so funny. It just reminded me, in downtown Milwaukee, there's they always do like sculpture, bring in different sculptures downtown, and there's maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 of them, and sometimes they buy them and then leave them in place. And by the one building that we used to work in temporarily while our new building was being built, it was like, like the balls that have the smiley faces on them, but it was a series of 5 different colored balls, and they went from like smile, frown, little less of a frown, straight face, to top of, it was a happy face. And I think it was called moods. I'm not positive on that, but I always called it days of the week. Monday is the frown upside down, and Friday is the big smile. So, and I like my job. It's just, I don't know. Like Sunday nights, I would start to think about it again. And, yeah, it just, I guess I was ready, right? So, but this is, these are so funny. And I haven't tried it out yet, but look at the nice set of colored pencils I got to go with it. And then this is another one. Oh, so, and then she also I love this. This little stitchy bag. I've been saving that so I didn't get it like messed up before I showed it to you guys. But isn't that cute? So Kathy, thank you so much. You are the best and very, very sweet. And then thank you all. I'll talk about it more at the end, but for all the messages of sympathy on the loss of my mom and the cards that came my way. I really appreciate it. And in addition, Linda, the new Linda to our stitching group, sent me this project bag. And she said, isn't that your 2021 Christmas fabric? And indeed it is. So thank you so much, Linda. That was really, really sweet of you. So now I can use it for something that I'm going to show you. So I feel like it's been forever since I talked to you guys, because my last video I did solo was just all finishes. It was the FFO October finishes, so I didn't really chit chat at all. So I think what I'm gonna do is put the chit chat at the end, and because it's a party, I thought maybe I'm even gonna throw a few recipes in there, because if I was having a real party, I would have appetizers, probably middle of the afternoon. And so I'm gonna include one of like a couple, I think what I'll do, maybe 3 recipes, one that is one of my favorites, one that was one of my favorites of Leanne's, and in honor of my mom too, like one of her good appetizer recipes. So I'll probably just do it as a image at the end, picture. So look for it there. So I've been thinking a lot about Christmas lately. I don't know, well, I guess it's, you know, not, it's almost just a month away. I've done a lot of shopping online already, and, you know, in a few stores as well, and really have pretty well completed the kids, and yeah, I'm done with my son-in-law, done with my daughter, and our son as well. So it's kind of nice. So I figure then what I'm going to do is just haul out all the gifts one day. And for some reason, for Christmas presents, I like to wrap them with wrapping paper, and then I recycle it. But you know, gift bags are great for other times of the year, but for some reason, I just really like using wrapping paper at Christmas. It just looks so fun. Okay, I'm really on a tangent. Let's get into what I think I'm gonna stitch for Christmas. Well, I know I'm stitching this for Christmas, but there's some stuff that I'm gonna start working on. So I'm down to having the last wordplay to do. So I haven't started it yet, but I might break this out tonight. And people have told me that this one goes fast, so I might as well just get it done. And I think this is, let's see, I'm stitching them on 32 count clay. I know somebody has asked me before what the fabric is. So it's pretty exciting to have these done. I've mentioned before, I almost gave up on them like in July, and then I'm like, no, just keep going. You'll be glad when they're done. And yeah, I am really glad that I haven't FFO'd all of them yet, but you know, I've done the finish the same way, so it's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. This one I've showed before, but I really am going to start these. They're Blackberry Lane Design gingerbread mittens. And they're oh so cute. And I've got a piece of, I think this was the called for linen, 28 count Phoenix Cashel, I think it is. It's pretty red. So The only thing that stopped me is I think it's all DMC, and I didn't have a couple of the colors, and they're the colors that like make this grid on the back, and I thought that would be an easy place to start. So I do want to get going on that. I doubt I'll get these, like I'm kind of in my mind splitting things into get them done this year and, you know, get a start on them this year. So for sure I get them done for next year. And I think that one is probably get it done next year. I know I've showed this before. Merry Noel Sampler Santa. By Sandra Sullivan. He's just so cute. And I think I'm going to stitch them pretty much with the called for colors. And I have a little chunk of 36 count Lakeside Light Exemplar I'm going to use. So I think that'll be pretty. And I love her designs. They're just so vintagey. I did one of the cinnamon stick Santas, so I'll get going on that. And then the following whips are actually ones that I've got just a tiny little start on. This is, I think it's 36 count Winter Brew. I'll be stitching Blackbird Designs Early Christmas Morning. And I don't have the chart. I have my working copy in here, but it's this drum. And I am going to do it as a drum. I haven't done a drum before, but I just have the tiniest little outline in there. But this is another one I want to get, you know, a little bit done this year, and then I'll probably crank on it next year instead. A lot of people have purchased this book, The Magic of Christmas by Veronique Angangere. Honestly, I could stitch every design in this book. I think like the charts are kind of hard for me to pay attention to, and I think that's why I probably haven't been, I've done two, this is my third. So I've got this tiny little start, and it's going to be this Père Noël envelope with the poinsettias. I've done the girl with the mailbox, and I've done the round, no, I think I've done the one of the canceled postage stamps, maybe the blue with the poinsettia. But I have what I think is going to be a great finish for this one. So, and it would lend itself to, as long as I have 3 of them, I could do the finish and then maybe add some others later on. So this one I do want to get done for Christmas this year. And I figure if I have all my decorating done and all my shopping done, I typically don't bake cookies because I feel like I would eat them all. And like people are always kind of surprised about that because I love to bake, but it's just too tempting. And so I don't know, maybe I will. I love to do cutout decorated cookies when I have time, and I feel like it's more like artsy. So let's not bring up the stocking. This is for you, Beth, wise guy. She asked me the one day in the hashtag, what about the stocking? So this is my youngest grandchild's stocking. And I have not had it out since Mania My Way May. It's a Gold Dimensions kit. And this is what it's going to look like eventually. I was a little disappointed because I thought I was farther along. I thought I was well up into the reindeer, and that is not the case. So I kind of feel like I will get this out now again in December and work on it at least a little bit. So I don't have to use the hashtag, let's not bring out the stocking. This one I just have such a tiny, tiny little start on, but I really love it. This was a chart that I got. I went to a cross-stitch rummage sale that I got a lot of fun things. It's called A Best Christmas Blessing by Linda Vinson. May your Christmas be merry and lack nothing. Well, I think that's kind of pessimistic. So I'm going to change it to merry and bright. And all those letters are charted in there, so I don't think it's going to be very, very hard. I'm stitching this 1/1 on dirty linen, 36 count, and I have the tiniest, tiniest little start. Let's see, can you even see it? There it is. So this definitely is slated for next year finish, but I feel like, you know, as long as I get them started, then I will go back to them. I don't like to have things unfinished forever and ever and ever. Someone just showed Prairie Schooler January on Instagram just a little while ago. And I've got a number of them started, but once I get this one done, it'll be the 5th month that I have complete. You probably remember I bought something at Goodwill that has, it's like a wooden piece that I put the mounted, mat board mounted stitch piece on the top, and then it has a little basket underneath. But I'm really almost done with this. I think I could maybe even finish it up tonight. Look how cute that is. So I love these. Really, they're really adorable. And this one was gifted to me as part of the Stitchy Wish in honor of Leanne. So that has a special meaning to me. And I just love it. I've got a little bit of a start on Frosty's Night Out. Blackbird design. So many of you stitched this already. He's such a cute little guy. What am I stitching this on? 36 count. Picture This Plus Valor. And I have his face almost done. I just gotta fill in his cheeks. And he's just such a happy guy. I can't wait to get back to him. It shouldn't take too much longer to get him done, so hoping maybe this year. We'll see. This one is not winter, but it is, let's see if I have the right month. That's summer. Needle House, or Little House Needleworks Band Sampler Fall. I've showed already this one I had finished, the winter one, which I just love. And I had it just in a cheapy little frame, and someone at our house, and it wasn't me, knocked it off the wall. But I had seen another finish where all of them are finished and put together. So I could find the chart. Oh, here it is. I think I'm stitching this on 28 count vintage country mocha, which is crazy when, you know, you stitch higher counts. Yeah, higher counts. And then you go to these and it's like, it goes pretty fast. I haven't really been devoting too much attention to it. And I probably would put it away if it wasn't for the fact that I have this many flosses tied up in it. So, I don't know. Haven't decided on that one. It probably will get put away onto my bookshelf where I keep the whips. I try to keep them like in order. So I'll put this one way to the right, and then as I pull them out, then the ones that are for the upcoming seasons are on the left side. And so I don't have to dig through quite as much if I'm looking for something. Oh, so as I mentioned, you know, it's nice to have a parting gift when you go home from a party, right? So there's a couple charts that I'm done with and I won't stitch again. So let's give them to you. This is Trilogy Thanksgiving lineup. I did this as a flat fold, and I got the chart from Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. So I'd like to pass it on to someone else. And how about if we use the word pie? And you can just write pie if you want to put these things in a sentence. I know some of you enjoy doing that, and they are fun to read, but don't feel like you have to do it on my account. And okay, let's get the other fall one out of here. This one I just recently stitched too. It's the Scarlet House Fall Frolic. So let's use the word frolic and spell it right, or otherwise he won't be entered via the random picker thing. So so far we have pie and we have frolic. All right, let's go back to whips. So I bought this chart along with Leanne the first time that I went to Country Sampler. It's American Farmhouse by the Scarlet House, and they had it kitted up. I think I'm stitching it on 36 count Edinburgh bark 1/2. But I've gotten, you know, the roof on the barn is done, so I'm getting there. I wish I could say this is going to be done this year, but I haul it out here and there, and I enjoy working at it now. I used to dread it, but I guess, you know, that's going in the right direction. And then so many of you are working on Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais, and I pulled mine back out. And I really have not too much more to do. Just have my tattered working copy here, but let's see, I got to finish off the flowers in that basket and finish the basket and fill in the windows. There's like a medallion in the top left above the trees, and I got to finish the trees. So I don't know if this will be done in 2021. There's just a picture of what it looks like. But I love it. And when I see it on people's walls, I'm like, why don't you just concentrate on getting that one done? And this one is another one, like After the Roses, that I will probably take in and have it professionally framed. Just because I love it so much, and I probably will leave it out year round. It doesn't scream Christmas to me. There's Christmas touches to it, obviously, but I don't really mind it out all year. Oh, I think I forgot what the color is I'm using for this. But this is Carriage House Sampling 1999 Christmas Sampler. I thought this would be so quick. I've mentioned before what color I'm stitching it on. I have it written down. So I could look it up if you're interested. But 2 people, I think last time I showed this and I was whining about stitching on dark, said try a light box. So I bought myself a light box on Amazon, and they really weren't that expensive, and it does really help. So instead of having a flashlight like blinding you if it slips, the light box I just lay in my lap, and it's rechargeable, so you don't really have to worry about necessarily having, you know, being right next to a light source, and it has a couple different levels. So I found that very helpful. So I appreciate whoever gave me that idea. So I'm almost done with the tree. And I think these are just DMCs, and I love the color on that. I think it's really, really pretty. So maybe 2021. I'm not making any promises on this one. I'll just keep working on it, and I like it, and eventually it will be done. And then this one I definitely will get done because I have a really cool finish planned for it. And I picked this, I kind of did it in reverse. I have a finishing piece that I'm going to use that then I looked for a pattern that would work on it. So it's Plum Street Samplers Winter Salt Box. And right now I'm stitching that red house. I think I'm using Call for Colors. The fabric I'm using to get the size I needed is 28 count Lakeside Light Exemplar. It's kind of weird. Like, I stitched the lighter trees 1/2, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you're stitching on 28 count. You need 2 strands, so I'll need to go. I think maybe I'll just, I've been known to like leave it in and then just either sneak, you know, the final leg on top, or if that doesn't seem good enough coverage, then I can sneak under the cross and do the under one and then come back and do the other one on top. But this definitely will be done for Christmas. You can see that it's kind of like a little salt shaker, they call it. But the tree is cut off, and I need it to be just a little bit wider. So because the trees are symmetrical, that'll be real easy just to make the tree be a full tree instead of a half tree. And I don't think I'm putting the white along the side. I am going to put snow at the bottom, depending on how big I need it to be and how it looks. So, but that'll be pretty easy just to stitch a bunch of white at the bottom. So I think that's it for my whips. I feel like, I don't know, I had so much finishing going, and then now I just I lost my FOs. Here they are. As much as I try, things always get a little bit out of sorts. So, okay, so we did those 2. Oh, no, I messed up. Okay, so the third of the charts that I will be giving away, I got courtesy of Lisa. She was doing this, and it has just a tiny bit of water damage, but not much. So for this one, let's put 1853. It's a pretty chart. So we have Pie, Frolic, and 1853. Okay. So the first of my FOs is November wordplay. and I stitched mine on 32 count clay, and instead of 1/2, I'm doing 2/2, and just did a lot of my own colors to give it, I wanted them a little bit more vivid. And the finish I'm using, I've just made them into a little quilt, and I hang it on the back of that rustic bench. I've got a lot of compliments on the finish, and it's just kind of a fun, simple thing, and then you can put other things on the bench. And what did I do with the chart for this one? Here it is. Okay, this is another Scarlet House, Jingle All the Way. Like, what chart of Scarlet House don't I stitch? Well, the big ones, but I love them. And this one is done. I think I used, I've said what the green is. If you need to know, let me know and I'll look it up. The threads, I used Cranberry Belle Soie and Icing Belle Soie. So the silks were kind of fun to use. The green wasn't the easiest to stitch on, so I was glad when I was done. And I found that my Christmas fabric 2021, look how pretty that's gonna look with it. See, this is not showing up really well. Like, it's really mostly gives you a deeper effect, not the bright red. Like, it's more like that. So I think that'll be really pretty. So you might have seen the video I did with Lisa from our Stitchy group, and we were supposed to have a finishing day, and I thought we would get those done, but by the time we did the video and then she had a couple little pillows that she needed done, I ended up coming home with both pillows to do. So Lisa, I'm gonna make you a private tutorial, so you'll have no excuses on finishing. And when you need to do something, then I'll just say, watch the video. Kidding. She's very kind to me. And then I thought I'd show you this. This was kind of one that got done right at the end of 2020, right before Christmas. And I probably either had you say, oh, that's really cute, or oh my gosh, what was she thinking? I mean, I kind of call it my, it's kind of like a cross between like Clark Griswold's house and I don't know what else, but this is a Brenda Gervais piece. I think it's called Candy Cane Lane. It's not supposed to be split up like this, but I stitched it in small chunks to make it fit on this toboggan. And last year I said I was gonna wait and haul it out and see if it spoke to me. And I know it's probably too much for a lot of people, but I really thought it was kind of fun. Like, I get bored if all my finishes are the same. And so I'm like, on this one, this is how I'm gonna leave it. So, and I said last year I was gonna just like haul it out and see if it spoke to me or didn't speak to me. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's kind of funny. And then Leanna and I did a Sal with the triplets, and she stitched hers on the same piece of fabric, but they were really far apart. So I don't know what she was going to do with them, but I was going to use this frame for mine. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, I just want to get some of her pieces framed. And so instead I used it for hers. But I think it works really well for them. I always like people looking into the center. I'm kind of weird about that. So, Jack, Harry, and Henry. And these are all through the night. They're sold as 3 different charts. And some people have stitched them all together, and other people have stitched them individually. So I pulled mine out, and I have a piece I think I can use for mine, hopefully. And I would like to try to get mine done this year too. And, you know, get some of the backlog. I started working on some of her Prairie Schooler ornaments to finish those up. And they don't scare me quite as much, but, you know, finishing does take time. And I have to be in the mood for it because I don't really love doing it. You know, it's kind of like, I love having the finished product, but I don't necessarily love having the finishing to do. So I usually, you know, like I envy people who finish stitching and are off to finish it right away, because it's like, that's awesome, you know, that you have the drive to like do it all as one process versus like myself. But I try to give myself kudos, because it's like anything, it's really, it's not that hard. You just got to jump in and you got to practice. And, you know, like I really think if you can sew a straight line, you can finish. And I'm not talking about big samplers. I'm talking about little pillows, or Vonna has great tutorials for pillows and also for flat folds. I mean, a flat fold is really a pretty easy finish. You know, you just have to, I think half of it is like using the right materials and having the right tools, and none of it's like hard stuff. I just save a rotary cutter that I use for flat folds, cutting mat board for the base of them. And, you know, like, yeah, I wouldn't want to use a good quilting one, but it's, ooh, I just saw like a tree, like, looked like it was going to topple. I guess it got windy outside since I was out there. So, yeah, but anyways, so that's it pretty much for my stitching. I'll put the recipes at the end. Oh, well, let's do the rest of the, I'm done stitching drawn thread. Welcome. So if you're interested in this chart, say welcome. It's a cute one. I don't have, you know, I didn't use any of the beads or anything, but I enjoyed stitching it. And, okay, so I feel like I haven't talked, you know, life in general for quite a while. Just a lot going on. When I think back, I don't know, like, we're on the verge of winter, and fall was very nice in the Midwest for the most part. Like, I think it was up till maybe a month ago, you still could wear shorts on a regular basis. So that was lovely for getting out and doing some walking and hiking and enjoying. We didn't have great fall colors here, but regardless, like getting the yard cleaned up, ready for winter was a pretty easy process because the weather was so nice. It was enjoyable to be outside. Fall, my friend was having her son's rehearsal dinner at their cabin, and they had just built a brand new lovely garage barn type structure. And so she asked a couple of us to come up and decorate, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I think it took me back to my craft days with Leanne, where we'd get, we'd show up at an event and all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's put this here, and you start rearranging things, and it really turned out cute. I think I have some pictures, so I'll attach those at the end as well. And we decided to put, like, she had just a few corn stalks, and you're in the midst of all this farm area that has a lot. So we said to her, we need more corn stalks, because we wanted them on like lining one whole wall. And so we go out to get the corn stalks, and she's driving her UTV, utility vehicle, whatever those are, and one of our friends' foot was bothering her hip, and so she was riding with her, and we were walking behind, and so we're in the field and we're cutting them and cutting them, and we kept saying, no, we need more, and she kept saying, don't you think that's enough? We're like, no, we need more. Well, on the way back, we learned that we thought it was like her friend that she was taking the corn stalks from, so she might be on the wanted list. We didn't take that many, but it was kind of funny. We were laughing about that, but it was just fun to spend some time with friends, and it actually was a lot of fun. Like, I realized, like, haven't been entertaining much the last 2 years, and so kind of missed some of that stuff. While we were up north, we decided to see if Leanne's parents were around, so we stopped in and visited them, and it was so nice. Like, just, we were gonna run in for 15 minutes and ended up staying, quite a while, and just, they're the nicest people, and it just felt nice spending some time with them. That was really, really nice. And talking about, memories and just lots of fun things. Leanne's mom is a very talented painter, so it was fun to see her stuff again, like, a lot of projects I had forgotten about. So it was really, really a nice afternoon, and so glad that we did that. Let's see. Oh, and then we lost my mom at the end of October. Didn't really, she had Parkinson's, had been declining, but, still was doing okay. And then she caught a cold, and when she used to get colds, even before she was unwell, she would a lot of times get laryngitis. And so she had laryngitis and this bad cough, but they had tested her for COVID, and it wasn't COVID. And so, we were just visiting like normal, and they ended up putting her on an antibiotic, and they forgot to give her the cough medicine, I think that's what it was. So I had gone one afternoon, I think it was a Monday, and spent a little time with her, and she couldn't, like, nothing came out. And with the Parkinson's, she, her voice was getting softer and softer, and it was harder and harder to hear her as the months were going on. But she would be talking like this, and like, I was just kind of laughing, because I'm like, I can see you're talking, but nothing was coming out. And then at one point and in hindsight, she was so ready. Like, a couple times in her room, she just closed her eyes, and I asked her if she was feeling unwell, and she shook her head no. And the one thing, we were so fortunate. I mean, she got confused, but she always knew us, and her face always just lit up when, you know, a family member or a friend came in. And she was loved by so many people, and the staff at the facility she was at, I mean, they were so kind and so loving. I mean, it just, it was just, you know, if I had to write a script, it was a good ending. And, you know, I know she's with my dad. The last day I was there, you know, a lot of times, I don't know if they'd say, you know, do you want to wear this or that? And so sometimes she wasn't quite coordinated the way she would have been coordinated when she was well. But that day she had on like a really cute pair of pants that we had bought her at Steinmart, and a coordinating top and little tee underneath, and her socks matched, and, you know, she had her shoes on, which I tied for her. And, you know, like, I just, in a way, I would love to thank the aide who got her dressed that day, because it just gives me, I know it sounds weird, but it just gives me good memories of, you know, the last time I saw her. And as I was leaving, I gave her a hug. I said, I love you. And I said, I'll see you soon. And now in hindsight, I'm like, whoa, I hope not too soon. But yeah, so we had her funeral, and the service was just really, really beautiful. My sister did a lovely job on the eulogy, and my mom was a caterer and had always fed people all her life, and loved to cook and feed people. And I used to have this party, this women's night party, where as a gift to the ladies as they left, I made like mini carrot and zucchini and chocolate chip banana breads, and had them in like decorative little fall bags, and, you know, everyone could just take one. And I got this idea, and I said to my sister, I know this is really kind of weird, but like, don't you think it'd be like, Mom would have loved it if we had these breads at church, and then as people left, after the funeral, they could take one with them and just, you know, the next day have them with a cup of coffee and, you know, think about her. And my sister's like, oh, that is a great idea. She would love that. And so then my other sister volunteered to come over after work, and I'm so glad I have a regular size KitchenAid, and when I got my big one, I was debating getting rid of the smaller one. And I think I've told this story before, but I asked one of my sisters, is it crazy to keep two mixers? And she's like, it'd be crazy not to. So it was great. And then I had, during the ladies' night saga or era, I had purchased like a bread pan that had 18 loaves in one. And, you know, they're just small. They're probably like the size of a muffin. But I forgot that my daughter had also bought me one, not knowing I had bought mine for a gift. And then she was going to return it, and then she never took it back. So she said to me, you know, if you want, I can meet you somewhere. And so I met up with her so we could get 36 loaves in the oven, you know, at the same time. So I don't know, we made quite a few loaves, and then we got them all wrapped. I had to order bags on Amazon, but they arrived the next day, so kudos to that. And my sister left here at 12:30 at night, but we were totally done. So then we just, you know, had them in pretty little baskets, and we were just gonna leave them on the ground, but then we ended up just like, you know, holding the handle and walking around with them, because people were funny. They were like, oh, you know, what kind do you have there? And, you know, kind of picking through for their favorite or whatever. But talking with my sister while I was baking, I was like, oh my gosh, like there were a couple times like, I was like, did I put the vanilla in? Did I not? And so we were laughing, but so far everyone that had one said they were really delicious. So it was fun. they were all gone, so I did not have any myself. So before my husband was leaving to go up north, I baked some zucchini bread just so that I could have a taste of it. So that was really nice, and just yeah, I had, you know, nice to see some people. A pretty good turnout when you think of, you know, she was 86 and it's still COVID days and whatever, and then had a nice lunch afterwards, and then like 2 days later, we both my parents were cremated, and my dad, his urn was still at the funeral home from 5 years ago, because everyone was like not spooked by having them, but like didn't want the responsibility, and this, you know, like I just thought like I would knock it over and spill it or something. And then the funeral guy said, well, we do, you know, keep people here, and my parents wanted to wait and be buried on the same day. So that turned out really, really nice. It was a beautiful day in November. I mean, in Wisconsin, you just never know what you're gonna get. So it just felt so good, you know, brought up memories of my dad too, and I'm really rambling. I should just stop. So, you know, I feel like I lost bits of my mom over the past 5 years, 6 years, and at every stage of her disease, you said goodbye a little bit more. And so by the final goodbye, I was really at peace with it, because I know she's in a better place. And as I was saying, I'm just so grateful she still knew who we were, because not everybody has that perk. So, and then let's see, on to some more fun things. I'm gonna put it at the end, but Country Sampler in Spring Green always has their Christmas open house, and I'm sure it's crazy if you go on the weekend or whatever. But Leanne had a really good friend, Anne, who was like her quilting equivalent, and I think I've mentioned Anne in the past. And you know, like, I'm trying to think. The very first time I went to Country Sampler, as was Leanne's first time, we went with Anne, and it just was a fun day. And I knew Anne a little bit from years ago. The three of us used to do a barn show along with other craftspeople, and so, you know, she wasn't a stranger to me. And after we lost Leanne, we had communicated a little bit and said, you know, we need to get together. And but then COVID happened, and so then out of the blue, she messaged me, and she's like, would you have any interest in going to Country Sampler and seeing the Christmas open house? And I'm like, and it was funny because I kind of was thinking, I should ask her and see if she wants to go. So we went, and it, you know, I don't know. I think of things, and the song Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, there's a line in it, something like, through the years, may we always be together if the fates allow. And that's always my toast, like, to say that when there's an occasion. I just think, you know, you look around a table and you don't know, you know, young or old, who's going to be with you in the future, you know. So just you know, my thought is, like, you just gotta embrace every day, every good day. And so anyways, I had turned off my car as I was waiting for Anne at the Park and Ride, and then I turned it on and I switched the station to Sirius had started Christmas music. And just as I turned it on, it was the line, through the years, may we always be together, and Anne pulled up. And I don't know. I just took it as a sign. And my husband laughs about me about my signs, but like I just felt Leanne was there with us, and I don't know. We had such a nice day, and like we have a lot of things in common. We graduated from college, the same college, same year, which I never knew about her, and so just like little things like that. And I loved it because I got my quilting questions answered about how Leanne did things, and not that other people haven't provided me with info, but I just felt like I kind of wanted to learn the way she would have taught me, and so that was really, really refreshing. And you'll have to. We ended up doing quite a bit of damage, and I will put a picture of how we stored our bags at the end. It was pretty funny. But anyways, we went out to lunch and then stopped at a quilt shop, JJ Stitches in Lake Mills, I think. No, Sun Prairie, on the way home. And that was fun. I had been there years and years ago with Leanne, but I'm like, oh, I need to go back. I really like their fabric. And so yeah, a nice day. And I finally made it to the IKEA in Milwaukee with my sister the other day. I wanted to get some picture rail shelves, so those will be going up before Christmas, because we got rid of our piano and I have no place to put things anymore. And I also got rid of like what did they call it? Sofa table. And so, you know, that's a lot of real estate to make up for. So I did that, and just, you know, have been with the grandkids. They're so funny. You know, the one day they were playing doctor, and the 2-year-old runs up to my husband and goes, "COVID test!" I'm like, oh yeah. Hope to see them again soon, and gonna get together with my high school friends. Leanne used to always have us. In fact, we had done some videos like late at night, and it was this group that would come over, and then after they went home, we would always record the video. So we didn't get together last year, but we're all vaccinated and we're getting together this year, and so they're going to come to my house. So that'll be nice. It's, you know, just nice. I mean, we've known each other, I think it'll be going on 50 years, and we've all gone, you know, taken different paths in life, but we get together and it's still lots of laughter and, you know, lots of love in the room. It's great to have friends that you share that kind of history with, that you still can get together and enjoy. Okay, so the final word is, let's say, joy. Joy for this little guy. I was going to stitch him again as an ornament, but I did a little pillow out of them, and I'm like, I found Lisa had something, a real cute little ornament that she lent me the chart for, so I'm going to stitch that instead. So that will be your gain. So I have a bunch of things I'm going to finish, and so I hope to record another video. And I think, like, a lot of people enjoyed seeing the fall decorations, so I'm not going to do a big tour or anything, but I'll maybe do the same sort of thing where I give you little you know, pictures or little snippets of places that I have decorated in my house. And so I'll probably try to get back here maybe within the next, it won't be a week, but maybe 2 weeks. So it's not, you know, real close to Christmas, because I feel like as it gets closer and closer, everybody gets busier and busier. So, you know, thank you for hanging in there with me. It's, you know, it's been quite the journey. Life is not boring, that's for sure. But, you know, what I don't have a philosophy degree. I can't even pronounce it. So, you know, what words of wisdom am I going to offer? But I will repeat the words that you need if you're interested in any of these charts. So the first one is joy for the snowman. Welcome for the drawn thread Christmas. 1853 for M&A, 1853. Frolic for fall frolic. Trying to see if I remember the word. And pie for this one. I guess I've gone on too long now. This was supposed to be a party, not like get into deep discussions on things. And, you know, why am I the expert? No reason. But, yeah, I can't wait to get this out there because I just want to go back to my decorating and my stitching. And, hopefully I'll have some pictures or little short videos to show. I've got 2 trees to decorate that are calling my name, and yeah, lots of other cleanup, and then maybe I'll have some time for stitching tonight. But I hope, you know, you have people to gather with either in person or virtually, and or, you know, virtual connections that bring you joy. There's, you know, that's important too. Just some way to feed your soul and take care of yourselves, and continue to fill the world with love. That's what it's all about. So the happiest of Thanksgivings to you all, and we'll see you soon. Toodles! All right, I'm going to show my show and tell at the end. This is 36 count felt, and someday I hope to stitch Come Into My Garden, and this is what I will use. I also picked up some, without having an LNS, when I see pieces of linens I like, I pick them up. Although I think I've got like a nice stash now. So I say that, but then when I see one of my coveted colors, I take advantage of picking it up. And this is Lakeside Linen Pearled Barley, 36 count. And this is another Lakeside Linen. Just, this is such a nice neutral, and it's light exemplar. I'm going to be, big trouble if I knock over my stack here, which I kind of seem to be doing. And this one is Lakeside Linens Lentil. Also pretty. All right, then these are purchases that I got when I went to Country Sampler. This Abbey Rose chart was in the markdown section, and I always thought that was a pretty stitch to have for summer. So I'll make a pretty little pillow. I don't know that I'll use the pinks, but we'll see. And this one, I probably would have never, ever picked this up from the cover. And I'll try to probably maybe insert pictures at the end from Country Sampler, just so you can see what this looks like stitched up. But it's Sampler's Not Forgotten, Oh Christmas Tree. And this is the colors on the back, just really, really pretty. And I've always loved this when I see it. Christmas Rose Blackbird design. So I just got the chart for that. You gotta excuse the mess around because I was hoping to get some finishing done today, but we'll see if that happens. This one too is so pretty. When we walked in, it was right by the door. And this is Cranberry Christmas, Artful Offerings. And this is the kit that Country Sampler came up with. And because they do sell them as kits and it's their conversion, I'm not specifically going to call out the colors because you can call them. Stacy Nash Primitives, Gathering the Greens Sampler. This one, when I saw that gold house with the wreath done up, I'm like, oh, it just called to me. I just love a wreath around a window. This is also a pretty conversion. Just such rich, rich colors. And then this is the one that really got me. Plum Street Samplers. This Happy Morning, the vintage version. I looked at the black on the black fabric, but I struggle with that, as many of you know. And so I'm like, this one was for me. And when I saw they had it kitted up for me, and look at those colors, just gorgeous. So I better get busy, right? Toodles.